This is Visions of Asia. What's up, Asia? How are you doing today? You're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well, and I just wanted to say thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. I don't know if you've done live streams before, right? I've seen your uploads, but you've done live streams, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
I've done one. Yeah.
Okay, you've done
but
one.
not
Okay.
on my channel. It was actually someone else's.
Okay, well, this is the chaotic truth, and I don't do echo chambers, so you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to, say what you think is going to make me feel a certain way. Please have at it. Speak your mind while you're on here tonight. Is that cool with you?
Yes, absolutely.
So can you tell the chat a little bit about your YouTube page?
Well, it's basically a vlog of my life, but I also do speak on a lot of social issues, and a lot of them are Black, or just on the Black community, for instance. And I don't always get the best responses because of the fact that I'm biracial.
Oh, you're biracial. Okay.
Mm-hmm. I consider myself to have an opinion, and I just felt like I needed to put it out there.
Okay, so since you brought this up about the whole biracial thing, what type of biracial are you?
Well, my mother, God rest her soul, she was a Greek and Italian woman, and my dad is Black American.
Okay. And so, and you say that a lot of your content is based around biracial topics, right?
Yes, Black topics, biracial topics. And like I said, just in general, my life.
Okay, that's awesome. And the latest or the last video you did, which it was about the young girl that was it seems like she was being forced to be vulgar, right? That was the last one, right?
I did upload earlier today, but I think
Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, could you tell us about that one real quick?
Which one?
The Kevin Samuels one that you did.
Oh, that was a reaction to one of his IG lives. He was talking to a young lady who had big dreams but didn't have any plans to follow through. Okay.
So, the topic tonight is, and guys, please, by the way, while we're here, please go over to Visions of Asia while we're talking. Please don't forget to go over there and subscribe and watch her videos. She's done several videos or uploads on Kevin Samuels and other trending topics out there. We're talking about is the Black culture trash tonight. And did you get an opportunity to watch the Anton video?
I did.
Okay.
It was good. I enjoyed it. I really agreed with Mr. Anton Daniels. I was like, okay, he definitely was harsh, I guess, in the way he was saying it, which a lot of people just are so bent on like the harsh reality of it, but it's like they miss the truth.
Yeah.
The truth is always hidden in it, but you got to be able to face it.
Okay. Well, you do a great job at dissecting videos, and during some of my live streams, I also dissect videos. So I would like to dissect the video that you and I both watched, and dissect it, be as open, be as honest as possible, and let's broach some of the questions in the chat. Is that all right with you?
Sounds great.
Sounds good. Okay. Let me put it up on the screen real quick. So this is the video. Excuse me. This is the video about Anton. Guys, if you're not familiar with Anton Daniels is he's a content creator who is also a part of a show called the Lapif Network. And previously on his own show, Anton Daniels, he spoke about how the Black culture is trash. And the gentleman at the bottom, between the two young ladies, his name is Foolie. That's what it says. His name is Foolie. Foolie doesn't like what Anton Daniels has said. So Fully has called in to broach the topic about Anton Daniels' black culture is trash topic, and we're gonna see what he says, or we're gonna see what Anton is talking about. But me and Asia have both watched the video. Okay.
I got a question for Anton first. Let me start there. Get some clarity on when you saying that. Are you making it as though you're a part of that collective, or you're disassociating yourself with that?
Let me go back to.
I got a question for Anton first. Let me start there. When you make that statement, right? Can we get some clarity on when you saying that? Are you making it as though you're a part of that collective, or you're disassociating yourself with that?
Well, what?
The black culture is trash.
So I want to point this out real quick. Now, in my opinion, Fully has already started off with the foolishness. He is bringing an emotional aspect of his character to the platform. You know, he feels a certain way about Anton's statement, or Anton's black culture is trash statement. You can see it in his body movement, and you're going to see how Anton, who is, for the most part, a black conservative, like most black conservatives, they typically are very logical. And you're going to see the difference between an emotional response, like Fully, and someone who's logical, like Anton. I don't know, Asia, what did you see with that just little snippet of commentary?
Yeah, you can see that he's a little angry about what he said. Definitely. That's why he's having him elaborate on it, hoping that maybe he'll say something different or soften the blow, but he doesn't. I guess they'll see that.
All right.
I defined it as the parts that's most celebrated by the majority of the people that look like me is trash, yes. And obviously you can't say all, because all of nothing is trash, right? But I have divested myself from a lot of the things that a lot of people celebrate. And as a matter of fact, me divesting from a lot of that has propelled me to be a lot more successful. As a matter of fact, I did a video probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and I put it on my first channel, where I highlighted the reasons why I gave up rap music and all of that type of stuff. So I've largely let go a lot of the things that the majority of the people that I see that look like me celebrate amongst the people that, you know, define black culture as awesome.
Now, I want to point out that now Fully is continuing to listen. He does have a little bit of some snob, in my opinion, some snobbish decorum to himself. But I want to point out that Anton is not making a generalized statement. He's basically coming from the perspective of, I believe that an aspect of black culture, which is trash, is rap music, and I gave it up, and my life has progressed. That's what Anton just said. Now, Anton is not saying that all black people should give up rap, but he is saying that, listen, for me to be a better person, I gave up rap music. Now, I guess you could ask the question, is rap a part of the trashy aspect of black culture? Does rap promote ingenuity? Does rap promote progressive ideas? Or does rap promote violence? Does rap promote destruction? And if so, why did Anton decide to give it up? Now, in my opinion, I believe Anton gave up rap for the very reason why rap, from what I can tell, most rap is very destructive. Most rap is very chaotic. Most rap talks about robbing, shooting, killing fellow black people. What say you, Asia?
I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. Look at all these different rappers that quote unquote beef with each other, and then one ends up dead, and then another one, and they're all so young, and they're just devoted to this music that's pretty dark when you think about it. I mean, some lyrics are literally like, you know, I'm going to shoot this person down and take all they have and leave them in the streets. I mean, those are the lyrics. It's really dark.
Yeah. Yeah. And you're right. And it's been dark for, I hate to say this, but I know it's a part of black culture, but for the most part, rap has been dark for 30 years. And like I said, if Anton believes that, hey, look, this is a trashy aspect of our culture, this is black trash to me, and I'm going to rid myself of this trash, Or does rap promote violence? Does rap promote destruction? And if so, why did Anton decide to give it up? Now, in my opinion, I believe Anton gave up rap for the very reason why rap, from what I can tell, most rap is very destructive. Most rap is very chaotic. Most rap talks about robbing, shooting, killing fellow Black people. What say you, Asia?
I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. Look at all these different rappers that quote unquote beef with each other, and then one ends up dead, and then another one, and they're all so young, and they're just devoted to this music that's pretty dark when you think about it. I mean, some lyrics are literally like, you know, I'm going to shoot this person down and take all they have and leave them in the streets. I mean, those are the lyrics. It's really dark. Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right, and it's been dark for. I hate to say this, but I know it's a part of Black culture, but for the most part, rap has been dark for 30 years. And like I said, if Anton believes that, hey, look, this is a trashy aspect of our culture. This is Black trash to me, and I'm gonna rid myself of this trash, and I'm gonna be better. And that's what he said. I'm gonna keep playing it though.
So was the answer to my question yes or no? My fault.
It's not a yes or no question because there's context that needs to be added to it. I've divested myself from what I defined as a trash in Black culture, which is what most people celebrate. Yes, but it's not everything. So you can't just say everything. That's the context. So it's yes, but then the context is the stuff that's trash I walked away from.
I'm sorry. So it's yes that you do associate yourself with the Black community?
Yes, I've walked away from and divested myself from the things that we celebrate in Black culture that's trash.
So you make that observation as an outside spectator of the Black community?
No, I mean.
So I hate to say this, but Fooley, the gentleman at the bottom, he doesn't like the fact that Anton is a critical thinker. He doesn't like the fact that Anton is critiquing an aspect of Black culture. So instead of listening to Anton, instead of listening to his point of view, Fooley is saying, oh, you're an outsider. That's what Fooley just said. So in my opinion, Fooley is basically saying, Anton, you are a white guy or a white man or some other observer other than a Black person looking at the Black culture. And that's a lot of times with people or what people like Fooley tend to do. When you don't agree with Black culture, when you critique Black culture, now you're an outsider. Now they're comparing you to either an Uncle Tom, Uncle Ruckus, or a white man looking from the outside looking in. Asia?
I'm just noticing there's probably an age difference between them, and maybe Anton's more at his enlightenment age, and this other Fooley guy is just really young, and he has a lot to learn still. He may very well agree with Anton one day.
Maybe so. So what do you think about the other people on the panel? What do you think they're thinking right now?
So far, it just seems like they're listening.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like they're just taking it all in. That's what it seems like.
Okay.
I just want to make sure I'm getting clarity on what I'm asking you.
So the clarity is that I made that observation as a result of what I experienced throughout my entire life. And when I became old enough to realize that it is trash, I learned to divest myself. So it wasn't from an outside perspective. It's based off a real life experience. On both sides, I seen how it affected me negatively. And then when I let go of it, I seen how it propelled me to be successful.
All right, I don't want to hop on this too long, bro, because I still don't think I'm getting an answer to my question. So just to
Okay, so Asia, okay, he said you're not answering my question. So am I lost here, Asia, or?
He said you're not answering my question because he's pretty much telling him the truth, and he's just not wanting to hear it. He doesn't want to hear that culture is technically negative because it's positive to him. And I think he just disagrees, and he wants him to, like, I don't know, coddle him or tickle his eardrum, and he's not going to. It's just like that's what it is.
Okay. Where do you think this conversation is going to head? Where do you think it's going to head to?
Well, I guess if I didn't already know, I would think that the young man will be the first to go just because of his attitude. He seems to be angry and irritated, and we can see that almost from the beginning of this.
Okay.
Bring it all home, right? Are you saying that you got your experience, and from what you gathered in your experience in the Black community, you then determined that they're trash and decided from that point to disassociate yourself with them?
I see you trying to. Nope, you're trying to put words in my mouth. And again,
I'm not. I'm asking you.
You said with the Black community, and I specifically said
the people
that the trash.
I'm sorry, Black culture.
the trash that's highlighted and celebrated as Black culture. That's specifically what I said.
Which is a part of the, okay, yeah, bro, but you're trying to distinguish that specific part like it's not all a part of the blanket term of the Black culture. So what I'm trying to figure out, good and bad, the ratchetness and the righteousness.
Did you hear that? The ratchetness and the righteousness both are intertwined in the Black culture. Asia, this is the problem. Fully is the problem.
Yeah.
I hate to bring in other cultures, but they don't say in other cultures, oh, the ratchetness, the bad part is a part of our overall. No, they don't. I hate to say it, but in the white culture, this will be considered white trash behavior. In other cultures, you are absconded or you are shunned in the community for certain types of behavior. The ratchet aspect of the Black community should be considered Black trash. It should be. It should not be considered, oh, well, we have all no. No. And that's what Fooley's trying to say here. But instead, Anton, he's not listening to what Anton Daniels is saying. But I'm gonna let you go. You want to broach that one?
I
Let
really
it all out.
Well, I agree with Anton. I mean, there's no way to say that I've just heard too many rap songs and seen too many bad outcomes for rappers to think that there's any righteousness in it. You can't have ratchetness and righteousness in it. There's no good and evil that's lukewarm and then therefore it's positive. No, it's just one or the other. And there's no denying that it's negative if people end up dead and their lives destroyed over it. There's nothing good that comes from it.
Yeah, nothing at all. So, Asia, I've highlighted bullet points on aspects of whether certain things are Black, aspects of, certain things, or bullet points on things that make certain aspects of our culture trash, right? A great breakdown of the little girl, and I'm going to play that. And if you don't, I want to ask your permission first, but
sure.
The little girl who was being told to curse, she's telling this imaginative story about having some problem with somebody and fighting somebody, right?
Yeah.
But the bullet point I have is encouraging others to fight, right? Now, that permeates throughout Black culture, okay? And I don't know, but what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it definitely does. Most of the time when there's a large setting of Black people, there's always security and there's always cops around, and there's a reason for it, because when they get together, there's fights that happen and people end up shot, people end up hurt somehow, something ends up messed up. And it's not all, it's definitely class systems. And I think it's the lower you are on it, then that's when that type of behavior comes about. Because, I mean, you're obviously a high class Black man and your wife is probably a high class Black woman. So you guys wouldn't be a part of that. And I think that's what Anton is hitting on. Like there's, he's not saying all, but for the most part, there's a lot of this foolery.
It is. And it permeates throughout the culture. I was a school teacher for many years. Listen, look, the parents fighting each other, coming to the school, trying to fight the teachers, trying to fight the principals. The kids always are fighting every single day, all day. Then when you try to say something to the student, you get in trouble. You try to say something to the administration, they're worried. They're worrying. They're more worried about, well, why are you trying to suspend these Black children? Then you try to say something to the parent, well, motherfucker, my kid. So it's a lose-lose situation. I don't know. Are you a parent?
Yes, I have a daughter. She's going to be 2 in May.
Private or public school?
A private, for sure.
Now, why are you choosing private school?
I just know that it's a better education based on my own personal experience. At the private schools or even a chartered school, they tend to have a better curriculum, access to better technology. you know,
Yeah.
so the kid just gets a better education.
So you went to private school, you said?
Yeah, private and chartered. And then I actually finished school because sadly my parents had got divorced and couldn't afford to send me to that school anymore. So by the time I was in high school, I did have to go to a public school. And so I got both experiences.
How many times did you fight in private schools?
I actually never fought.
That's what I'm saying. I went to both private and public. Well, I never got into fights and, you know, growing up, but the fights, the most brutal fights, mostly all the fights that I saw were in the public school. And I hate to say it, the black students. I hate to say it, but they bragged, they boasted about fighting. We could go in the bathroom and work. Always work. We could work. Now, I'm not saying that white or other groups of people don't fight, but when I was in private schools, it was almost like heaven on earth. But I feel like when we talk about this as a community, people like, you know, people will say, well, I'm Uncle Tom and I'm cooning, but I'm like, no, I'm just giving you an observation of what I saw growing up. That's it.
Yeah,
So
I was just going to say, I remember being a high schooler and riding the public school bus, and it was always the black kids that would get together in the back of the bus, and they would literally cause us to sometimes have to pull over and get, you know, the police on board because they'd be throwing stuff at the driver. You know how dangerous that is?
Yeah.
It was never the white kids doing that on the bus, though.
Yeah,
and
never.
Those are our experiences. People can't deny what we've actually experienced.
Right. And, you know, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about it, because I think talking about it and trying to broach the topic, we can fix it. And that is a aspect of black cultural trash. And it is encouraged and it needs to cease. But this is your video of you and your critique of the little girl. And to me, this is child abuse, but this is encouraging a young girl. I'll just play the video.
Shower. This video. So I was perusing the internet again, and I happened to walk into this video, and I just was like, wow. You know, we're still finding videos like this on the internet. People just thinking it's so funny to upload crazy stuff dealing with their kids. Let's just take a quick look, shall we?
Every time we put both of them together, right there at the police officer. They get this to jail. Right, motherfucking now. Shit. For me. God damn. And then I started whooping her ass. And then I was acting like a baby. Shit, me, don't play at me, ho. Bitch, I would slap your ass to that motherfucking ground now.
My immediate thoughts are, wow.
What are your immediate thoughts right now on that?
I think I said something like she was a hood rat in the making.
Oh, go ahead.
I mean, she kind of was. I mean, she's not even in probably first or second grade, and she can cuss somebody out better than I can.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would be sick to my stomach if I saw my daughter speaking that way.
Yeah. Asia, I don't have any children, and I don't teach anymore. But do you know how dangerous it would be for me to approach that mother and say, you know, or that family and say, you know what, you shouldn't have your daughter or your kids acting like that, because they want to fight you.
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, this is a hood rat in the making. This is a person who's going to be possibly dependent on the system, possibly a you know, her children, if she has any, they're going to continue this cycle of ignorance. But if you as a black man or a black woman says, you know what, I think that, you guys shouldn't teach a 3, I don't know how old she is, but she looked about 3. You shouldn't teach a 3-year-old to be vulgar, because you got to think about 30 years from now, 40 years from now, or 100 years from now with this cycle of, you will get ostracized. What say you?
I think she's going to end up being worse as she gets older, and she'll be one of those probably runaway teens, because if she's talking like that now, you better bet your lucky charm she'll be talking to her parents like that, and they'll be wanting to kick her out because nobody's going to let their child talk to them that way, but you taught her to do it. And then she'll just be another statistic probably, you know,
Yeah.
and it's all their fault.
Yeah, I think so. I think that this is certainly an aspect of Black culture that, trash. And not to say that all Black culture is trash, but this wanting to fight, or you know who Tommy Sotomayor? I want to segue to another part. Do you know who Tommy Sotomayor is?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. Do you know who Fresh and Fit is?
No, but I think I seen on his channel something about them.
Okay. Tommy Sotomayor was on Fresh and Fit last night. Tommy Sotomayor was physically assaulted by a female. The female and him got into a verbal argument. The female got up in his face, and obviously he got up too, but he got up more in a sense to, not to fight her, but he got up because she was in his face. She punches him about 2 times in the face. And I go, you know who Kwame Brown is?
Yes.
I go on Kwame Brown's page today. I'm on there talking. I said the female should be charged with assault. Kwame Brown, his cousin, Mr. Skinny, and another guy's a comedian. Asia, you know what they said to me? You could go watch it. They started dogging me. They started dogging me, saying all types of things about me being pretty much a square Uncle Tom. Tommy Sotomayor deserved it. And I said, when are you guys going to realize that physical violence is not the answer? And just because him and this woman had a verbal conversation does not give her the right to physically assault him. And so they're saying, yes, it does. Yes, it does. And this is exactly why I say that this aspect of Black culture is trash. The idea of always wanting to fight, always wanting to be in a disordered state, a dysfunctional state. I'm talking your head off. Go ahead, Asia.
Oh no, I didn't. You enlightened me to something because I didn't know all that happened. That sounds horrible, and it does sound like she definitely should receive charges. Like, people need to let go of that double standard. If you put your hands on a man, don't expect him not to put his hands on you back. That's not fair. You can't hit people. Doesn't matter, you know. I wouldn't even say size matters. You know, you can't be a tiny little Asian woman hitting on Kwame Brown either. He would have every right to defend himself.
Yeah.
Women need to stop. Oh, you have a clip of it?
This is a clip. Yep. It made World Star this morning.
Oh my! Wow.
Shop Frisco's
so you know there's commercials all over the place.
Collection by Chewy.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on getting all the cutest, comfiest, dreamiest.
Oh, they have long
PJs
commercials
for
on
your
here.
pet. Frisco by Chewy.
So this is the girl to his right. She's belligerent. They've been drinking. And this right here is what is promoted in the Black community. This is supposed to be funny. This is supposed to be, oh, let's everybody watch Fresh and Fit. And this is what Black people are doing. Acting a fool. This is a aspect of Black culture right here. This is what Anton says I want to walk away from.
Mm-hmm.
For no reason. No. He not finna try to play me. Who's playing you?
Now, I want you to pay attention to everybody who's watching. She gets up. She's drunk. She's belligerent. No, yeah, Tommy is yelling too. I'm not going to condone what he's doing. But Tommy has not made a physical threat to her. But keep watching.
You stupid bitch. No, bitch. You.
Tommy did call her a bitch. I'll admit that. He called her a bitch, called her a stupid bitch. But it does not matter. In the court of law, if you assault someone, you can't say, well, they said I was this. They said I was that. Doesn't work like that in the court of law. You can't physically assault people if they say something to you. This is what Black people need to fucking learn.
Amen.
You gotta keep your hands to yourself.
Nobody's bringing your capsules down.
Pay very close attention. I know the video is very grainy, but you're gonna see this woman hit Tommy Sotomayor in the face, and she actually hits him pretty good. That's black culture for you. That's black culture.
Oh.
Asia would say you. Would say you.
All I can say is they can't be bargained with. They can't be reasoned with. They don't feel pity or remorse or fear, and they will not stop ever until you are dead. And he says that all the time, because I actually do watch Tommy Sotomayor. He's like one of my favorite YouTubers. I think he's hilarious, but that's he's always getting into that kind of stuff. And I honestly think that it's because he's very vocally violent, and people don't like to be talked to like that. Like, and I don't condone it either. I personally would never respond to somebody calling me a stupid B word with, a fist. I'm a woman. I'm not going to respond to a man like that. I'm just going to be appalled and like not talk to him anymore. But, she's just like, brought up in that culture where it's like, just start wailing. That's all we know how to do.
Yeah. You don't see, I'm not gonna compare, because I know some black people don't like when you compare to other groups of people. So I'm not going to do that. But this woman clearly is belligerent, clearly in the wrong. Kwame Brown was making it as though this woman was an elegant conservative woman. Kwame Brown was making it seem like this woman was married. Kwame Brown was making it seem like this woman was just a refined female. The woman, that same girl got on Kwame Brown's show today. Wow. She was belligerent on the show. She was telling Kwame, "Oh, Tommy, he could suck my, belligerent as hell." They made it seem like this woman was Michelle Obama. They made it seem like this woman was Coretta Scott King. And this is the problem in the black community. This constant fighting. And then when shit hits the fan, who do they blame? They blame the man. And then they make this ratchet female out to be an angel, which she is not. Asia?
Yeah, I mean, they do it all the time. I see it happen all the time. She's a queen. She'll forever be a queen. She'll be a goddess. We got to praise, the black woman, even though she doesn't technically do anything praiseworthy. But hey, I can't argue with the majority, since that's what they're going to say.
Asia, would you have gone on that show in the first place?
I don't know, something like that where people are just like drinking and getting loud and crazy. I wouldn't. That seems very. Seeing that makes me think it's unsafe. So would I? More than likely not. I'm a mom of a young child. I got to always think of stuff like that. So no.
And this is what I'm saying. So when I was on Kwame Brown, and Kwame Brown, I don't. You said you don't know who he is, right?
Oh, I do. I've heard of him.
You do. Yeah, former NBA player. He was asking me, well, what if that was your mom? First of all, and this is what I told Kwame. I said, Kwame, my mom has been married to my dad for 40 plus years. My mom, even though she had a career, my mom was in the household. My mom would never have been on that show in the first place. So, and this is what I'm trying to say. You're this constant. I see why Anton has divested from a lot of aspects of the black community, because it's this inability to fucking critically think. Why would that girl put herself in that position in the first place? Why would Tommy put himself in that position in the first place? Tommy doesn't have the greatest of reputation around women either. So it's almost like they're going into these situations wanting to fucking fight. Asia?
Oh yeah. I've definitely seen it. Even on Tommy Sotomayor's side, he has a hard time getting along with people for very long. You can see that most of the time his bonds with other YouTubers goes bad pretty quickly. And it's usually because he'll say something really messed up, and he has to learn how to talk to people in a way that's just, you don't need to disrespect them so harshly. Like, he just disrespects people, and then when they react to him violently, he's like, hey, what's going on here? Well, you have to self-reflect. If people are always trying to fight you, it might be because you're doing something. You might be doing something a little wrong.
Yep. Let me read the chat real quick. Asia, you're rocking. You good? Okay. Let me read the chat real quick. Who is in the chat? Mrs. Wright says every group in poverty went offer money in exchange from in exchange for morals. Let me see. Mrs. Wright is saying maybe because our history of labor in this country was the most lucrative form of capitalism. I'm assuming Mrs. Wright is giving some sort of maybe I should go up a little bit more and read it. Let me see. Ivan G says there is no such thing as black culture. Knock it off. Rod says you cannot be a part of culture and still divest from the negative parts that hold us back. Asia, do you agree with that comment?
I think you can still consider yourself to be a part of a different black culture, just not the majority group. You're not losing your black card because you want to live your life in a better way. I think that's kind of dumb.
Asia, I was going over my bullet points, and please feel free to go over your bullet points as well on things that you think are, I hate to say this and be brutally honest, but I hate to say it, but aspects of black cultural trash. Another aspect of black cultural trash that I have is this notion that intellectual blacks who are civil, who are, they behave in public, are considered the educated lames, are considered corny. This goes on in black culture, and it's nothing new. Black people who, for example, I have a video of one, who Wayne Brady is, correct?
Some type of sports, I don't know.
No, Wayne Brady is an entertainer, but yeah, like a person like Wayne Brady or a Carlton, they say that, for example, Kwame Brown was calling me Steve Urkel today. You know why he was calling me Steve Urkel? Because he said I was using encyclopedia words. Sir, I wasn't using encyclopedia words, and I wasn't speaking the Queen's English either. But again, when you present yourself in a manner of decorum, they call you educated lame. They call you this, that, and the other. That's a aspect of black culture that I think is also trash. The degradation of the intelligent blacks, supposedly. Yeah. But anything you want to say about that?
I agree with that. And I think I've spoken on that in a few of my videos too, how the negative stuff is uplifted and then you're considered a lame if you are for doing anything positive or just trying to live your life, what's considered a more, I guess, European, like if your goals are to get married and have a nuclear family and you spend your money correctly, those are not considered things that black people should do.
Yeah.
They're white things, I guess. That's what white people do.
Right. And that's what they say all the time. And, what's troubling about that is that, for a society to thrive, you need order and you need civility. And if you just look at black culture, wherever there is disordered thinking, disordered behavior, you see utter chaos. The intellectuals of any culture build the society and maintain the society. But again, when you live in a culture that puts rappers, drug dealers, criminals at the top, then that is a level of societal decay. And that's what happens in the black culture. What say you?
I agree with that. I think it stems down to certain types of black people, the type of music, the things that they watch, the type of activities that they engage in. I think that's how you get involved in all that. Because if you're divested from it, like Anton was saying, then you're not drawn into it and you won't make the same bad mistakes.
Yeah. This is Wayne Brady right here on the right. You ever seen him? You said you haven't seen him before?
I guess I haven't. No, I thought I knew him, but
yeah, he's what a lot of black people would consider an educated lame, an Uncle Tom, all because he speaks proper English, all because he doesn't act like an N-word in public, all because he just has a certain decorum about himself. And I'm going to play this real quick.
Since Wayne Brady, have you heard? Entertainer, but as a person, like, what are some of, would you say, misinterpretations of Wayne Brady have you heard?
Let's see. The biggest one I've got to say, and I even had a go after dude on Twitter the other day, that there's just some people, some of our people that are like, I'm not black enough, or you're not black. First off, I still to this day, and I have to say that proudly, I'm turning 40 in June.
Okay, congratulations.
Still, thank you.
You made it.
Thank God.
You surpassed the life expectancy.
No, especially if a lot of cats in my neighborhood is like, hey, I did it for y'all.
Yeah, right.
So I win.
All right.
It's what is black enough? You know what I mean? Because being honest, not all of us can be thugs.
No.
And most people are not. If
I want to point this out, that the image of the black man is so fucked up in this country that if you are not a thug, then you're considered a non-black person. That and I think if you really listen to what Wayne Brady's saying, he's saying that, well, because I wasn't considered a thug. I don't know, Asia, if you caught that.
Yeah. I did.
Mm-hmm.
You can see his dialect, the way that he carries himself is not of the typical man, but it's like, I've dealt with that before too. I'm pretty sure if I spoke a different way, I wouldn't receive so many negative comments on some of the videos that I've done.
Yeah.
If someone shoots a gun, the average dude is running. Even the dude who's sagging is like, look, man, I'm roughing this. Bang. He's ducking and running. So you're not really a thug. You are a person that wants to escape the bullet.
Exactly.
I want to point this out too, that, and this is what I used to tell the students that I used to teach when they used to claim this thug bullshit. You know who the fucking thug is? The person who built the damn gun, the engineer who created it, the engineer who figured out how it works, the manufacturing company that built. Those are the actual thugs. And that's what I used to tell these kids running around that I used to teach at some high risk schools. And I used to tell them that, you can scare these little idiots around here, but you're not a thug for real. None of you are thugs. The thugs are in the White House. The thugs are in the Capitol buildings. The thugs are in the military, and they have stars on their uniforms. You little degenerates are not fucking thugs. And that is another aspect of black culture. And it's exactly what Wayne Brady is talking about here. What say you, Aisha?
I mean, when it comes down to it, they wouldn't be fit for probably a lot of the training and stuff that the military and the Navy and the Air Force have to go through. So you're right. They wouldn't be as strong as they would claim to be in a setting where their strength would be tested. But in the streets, when you can pull out a heavy, machine gun that shoots pretty quickly, then yeah, you can do a lot of damage. But without your gun, who are you? What can you really do?
Exactly. Give me 1 second.
Exactly.
Now, that being said, that doesn't make anyone blacker or not black. Now, if I have to fight for my family or fight to defend my friends or fight to defend my life, I will try to take you out. That's not a boast. That's not me trying to be hard. That's what a man would do.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, I'm a man. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what gradation of black.
So yeah, and I want to make this a point. I'm not bashing black people. I'm not bashing black anything. What I'm doing is that I'm pointing out what Anton Daniels was saying. I'm attempting to analyze it from my perspective. His idea of divesting makes logical sense from certain aspects of black culture. He has seen destruction, and it is wrapped in this black culture thing. And he's saying that I don't want to be a part of this rap culture, this criminal culture. I don't want to be a part of that. And it's not making me successful. And I think that this is what a lot of Black people need to understand. This idea that we need to fight all the fucking time. And this idea of the educated lame and saying this nonsense. To be a superior culture, to be a superior racial group, you're going to need the educated lame. You're going to need the person who can logically think. Asia, I know I'm talking your head off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I mean, again, I agree with you, and I'm not just agreeing because you have me on the show. It's like you really have a lot of great points, and you're speaking the truth. So, I mean, I guess when you think about it, people don't want to do the hard work. I think that's associated with the well-educated Black people who go to school and they finish and they get really great jobs, and then they're in the top, certain percentage. It's like all the different people like you and maybe Kevin Samuels and different other Black guys who come off more, I don't know, just I guess put together and away from the streets. And it's like they don't want to do what it takes to be that. They don't want to have to finish school and the hard work that it is to study and to work your way up and to save and to put off and sacrifice so that you can eventually have more. A lot of those people, they want the instant gratification, so they're more willing to do the thug life or the scamming and, you know, just whatever quick, fast money schemes they can come up with.
Yeah. And you're absolutely correct. And it brings me to my next talking point about the pedestalization of the rapper, of the athlete, of the drug dealer, of the thug. We Black people, that is the trashiest mindset. When you pedestalize an athlete, when you pedestalize the thug, that's not going to propel our culture into the next level. It's not. It's not. We're becoming a spacefaring race. We're becoming a race that is solely based on technology, and all these hustling things and criminal things are the thing. It's not conducive to the current paradigm we live in right now. Asia.
Yes. And you know what? I have been having a great conversation with you. I do have to go. My daughter is crying in the background. I can hear.
Yeah.
And I do apologize. I would love to come on your show again and have a longer conversation.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have started later after she went to bed, but I do apologize.
You're good. Yeah, no, you're good. But thank you for coming, though. Any last words, though? Any last words?
Great topics, great show. If anybody comes over and subscribe, make sure you comment and let me know what you think of this show. And,
absolutely.
Hopefully I'll see you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Asia.
Take care.
Thank you. Yeah. So that was Asia, and she has a great channel, Visions of Asia. So please go over there and subscribe to her.